Hey guys, what's up? Alec back with the daily stock market, and look at that. Chewy just reported earnings, and if you scroll down, we have a huge $700 put out on Chewy right now, and they're down 8%. So if you can do math, that's going to open up around 100% or more tomorrow morning. We've also had tons of success in my close friends list just in the last 24 hours, with some students up over $200, 140%, 107%, or $540 on XOM. And a lot of students just joined, made their first option trade ever, and we're up over 100 to 300%. Here you can see a 300% gain over $182. So smaller accounts are welcome also. Up over $400 just from one day of holding TQQQ. So we printed on TQQQ, and then we also made a good amount of money on XOM. Both of those were puts, by the way. If you want more updates on success stories, go over to my Instagram. Over 170,000 followers now, over 500 posts total. On YouTube, by the way, we just crossed 400 uploads, a huge milestone. But if you want to see the success, go ahead and click on success number 6, success number 5. We now have over 600 positive testimonials from students and over 1,500 signups. So if you want to join my close friends list, make sure you message me here on Instagram, the only place you can actually get a hold of me. I message every single person back, but in this video, we're going to talk about options, call options, put options, the best options to buy right now and hold so we can make some money together. Okay, so let's jump right into the video without any further ado. Just like the video first off and share this video with a friend. Subscribe with post notifications on. So there's two strategies you can do for option trading right now. The first one is going to be an earning strategy. Is look at the companies that are reporting earnings on what day. Try to guess if they're going to be beating earnings or losing on earnings. And more importantly, try to predict if the stock's going to move down on their earnings or up on their earnings. Okay, this is a very risky way to invest, but it can pay out big, and that's how you get a lot of 100 to 300% gains is some options earning calls. Now, with that being said, we already had our Tuesday, our big day after close. We had CrowdStrike, ChargePoint, Chewy, and HP. We made money on Chewy. That's the one we played. We also played CrowdStrike, and that one's about flat right now on their earnings. They did beat earnings, which we wanted, but the stock hasn't moved much yet, but they're probably going to be moving in an upward direction, and we'll do a recap on CrowdStrike towards the end of this video. So make sure you stay throughout this entire video. Now, the only other good one that I'm looking at probably for the rest of the week is probably going to be moving down the line to Lululemons. So with that being said, Lululemon is the first stock that we're talking about and considering an option on. All right, so now if we draw the support and resistance, we can see that they're pretty much at the support, and they look like they're going to be making a move upward in the channel. Okay, now technical analysis doesn't matter too much when it comes to earnings. We have to see if they're going to beat earnings and what they're going to do on earnings. The last 4 earnings in a row, they beat EPS every single time, which is a bullish factor when it comes to a call option for Lululemon. If you press trade and you trade options, I would be looking at least September 9th and maybe even September 16th. Now, the bad thing about buying a call option with Lululemon here, as you can see, the call option's around $1,500 if you want to buy one. So you press buy and you're looking at $1,585. Most people don't have that much to risk on a call option, even though if it did hit, it would print significantly. And you can probably go as low as like the 315 call for $1,000 or even the 317.5 call for $995. That's probably the lowest I would go. The cheapest option I would go is around $995 on the call option for Lulu. So that's extremely risky. Later on in the video, we'll talk about some cheaper options, and let me know if you guys even want to hear about call options under $100. But in this video, we'll definitely talk about some call options and some put options that are under $200 per contract. So make sure you stay throughout this entire video and subscribe if you want to see even cheaper contracts than that. So we can see that Wall Street expects a year-over-year increase on earnings, on higher revenues on Lulu, reported results of quarter and July 2022. While this widely known consensus outlook is important to gauge the company's earning picture, a powerful factor that could impact its near-term stock price is how the actual results compared to these estimates. The earnings report, which was to be released on September 1st, might help the stock move higher if these key numbers are better than expected. On the other hand, if they miss, the stock may move lower. Obviously, we know this. So here we see Lulu stock up ahead of optimistic Q2 forecast. Lulu will release its fiscal Q2 earnings on September 1st. Wall Street expects EPS of $1.87 and revenue of $1.7 billion. Lulu has beaten all 8 of its past EPS consensus figures. So keep that in mind. Every single time Lulu has beaten EPS, expectations are high for Lulu. Lulu stock is down 20% this year so far, recently gaining momentum. It has grown more than 5% in the last 3 months. Now it remains to be seen how the upcoming results will boost shares of Lulu. Okay, what does Lulu do? They have around 570 stores spread across 17 nations, a workforce more than 25,000 people, and they're headquartered in Vancouver, Canada City, by the way. Okay, so now if we look at the website traffic, hints a strong Q2 show, which is interesting data to be diving into pre-earnings. According to the tool, Lulu's website traffic registered a 42% rise in global visits during the second quarter compared to the first quarter, while the website visits on the desktop declined 5% quarter over quarter. An 82% surge in traffic to the company's mobile app made up for the loss. Okay, so that's pretty interesting. The tool's data is in line with the Wall Street's expectation of 1.86 cents per share. Again, they'll probably beat that EPS. They have time and time again compared to $1.65 reported the quarter right before this. Meanwhile, Lulu expects adjusted EPS to lie between $1.82 and $1.87. Okay, and revenues for the range between 1.75 and 1.77 in the second quarter. However, ahead of the quarterly results, we have analysts of Jefferies, okay, that downgraded the rating on Lulu stock from sell to hold on the belief that Lulu will have to lower its long-term projections in the coming quarters as competition rises and market weakens. So that's the risk, is that the guidance, this analyst believe that the guidance coming up in future earnings and maybe even this quarter could be poor. So that's why he's not risking it with an investment. So it's something to think about. But let's not spend too much time on Lulu because they are an expensive contract. Let's dive into the next one. Okay, now one of my favorite options to take out if I'm feeling bearish is a put option. Okay, now what we can see here, it looks like that we see the TQQ starting to level out though, so you might want to be patient and wait for possibly a better time. However, we can see that it might have actually broke the recent support and it could be gapping down to fill out closer to this support here. Okay, so if that's the case, we could see a second downturn into this bear market that we see here, and we could see TQQ go as low as $24 per share. Now, personally, before I take a put option out on TQQ, I'm probably going to be waiting for around $32 per share or even $34 per share. I think it's definitely possible for TQQ to at least recover to those levels again, and when it does, that's when these puts will be looking a lot tastier on TQQQ. Okay, now if you want to see exactly when I'm buying and what contracts I'm buying exactly, go ahead and message me on Instagram so you can join my close friends list. But right now, if I was going to take one out, which I'm not, I'm just saying, for example, I would probably be looking at this $28 put for $150. This is still a very affordable put, and it's only $152. So a lot of people could afford this risk, especially if you put a stop loss at around 50%. Then in theory, you're only risking around $75, $80 in total. Obviously, stop losses don't always work with option trading to a T. So remember the risks involved with stop losses as well. But you can even buy 3 contracts for $450. You can average yourself in if you want to buy 1 contract now, and then if you lose some money and then you buy another contract in a few days, and then it goes up even more, then you maybe buy 2 contracts in 4 days from now for a lot better of a deal than you're getting today. So you can even dollar cost average yourself into these contracts over the next, week, 5 days to 10 days. And if you're going to buy 10 contracts, that's 1,500 total. You can buy one per day or two every other day, for example. Personally, I'm going to be waiting for a better deal on these contracts. If you want to see exactly what I'm buying, message me on Instagram. So that is a good put option. I'm just looking for a better deal, but all these are really good put options. The 28.5, the 29, the 29.5, and even if you go out with your expiration date a little bit to September 16th, or even September 23rd, you can find good put options available for all, especially if you have, let's say, a large long-term portfolio that you want to hedge and you don't want to sell your long-term stocks off. That's why I like to hold TQQQ puts, especially if you hold a lot of long-term stocks like Apple, Microsoft, Amazon, Google, and a lot of other big tech stocks like that. TQQQ is a good hedge against your portfolio overall. We've already had so much success, so I don't know why you wouldn't be a part of the program by now if you're watching the full videos. You're just doing yourself a disservice and losing out on money at that point. And a lot of these are easy plays that you can just follow along. You don't even have to know really how to trade options. You can be a total beginner. Remember, right now that close friends list is totally filled up just because of the demand of so many people signing up. But I have the wait list open. Message me to get on that wait list. Thank you for all the love and support. Make sure you like the video, subscribe with post notifications on. Share this video with a friend if you think that they can find some value in it. I'll see you guys in the next video. Remember, don't time the market, buy the market. Peace.